so this is the part where I thought my microphone was working, but obviously it decided not to. But we were just looking on the Robinhood desktop application just to see what type of news is going on today. That's me right there, scrolling through the news, trying to see what's happening with the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq. Of course, you know the tariffs are supposed to be happening tomorrow on Tuesday, which means a whole bunch of stocks supposed to be seeing red. And of course, to some people that's a bad thing, but the other people that's a shopping spree. You just wait until they get as low as they can, and then you get them before they get back high. But of course, for those who do have a lot of money in stocks right now, if they don't want to take profit at this point, they're definitely going to see some dips. Now, this is the part of the video where I was just going through, looking at just different things. I think I went to my big dog. Yeah, there it is. This right here being the big dog watch list. You know, got my PayPal right there. I'm pretty sure I went down to Nvidia just to see what's going on there. Showing how it started off at 125 today, and then eventually it got all the way down to 112. Thing being though, it was at 125 in the middle of the night. It was like 2 a.m. in the morning. So it wasn't like anybody was awake anyway to take any type of profit, or even if they could, because it was after hours. It's interesting how stocks do that. They go up while everybody's sleeping, and as soon as people wake up and our market opens at 9:30, all of a sudden it wants to drop all the way down. 118, the next thing you know, 115, and then 113. There's me right there looking at some candles, trying to see what's going on with the candlesticks. You know, we can definitely see a bunch of double bottoms there. You can see those candlesticks really dropping, showing off MACD. MACD was doing nothing. MACD stayed in the negatives. He had a negative attitude today. But that's how MACD is sometimes. And then, of course, went back. I think right after this, I went ahead and checked out Advanced Micro, yep, AMD, because I'm a AMD shrill, but it is what it is. I like the products. Show how it went down to 98, and I think the 52-week low was $97 right there. So showing that if it went down another dollar, it'll probably be hitting 52-week lows, which isn't bad because it started at 110, 115 just a month ago. So you can really see the room for growth. And this is me going to AMD News, but I think all the news was pretty much the same. Wasn't too much going on there with AMD, just talking about how much it was worth, like 150 billion or something, which isn't bad, but man, when you put that next to the competition with Nvidia being $3.08 trillion, that's a whole different ball game. But it's fine. You know, Nvidia, they're in a whole different field anyway, you know, with AI and everything. Whereas I feel like AMD should just go ahead and double down as being the gaming microchip. Because as we all know, whenever they come out with a new GPU, you know, that thing's going to sell within seconds anyway. And then all their sales are going to be right back up. That's the big thing about AMD. It's like, you know, the sales are going to go up because obviously, you know, they're coming out with a new product. And of course, this is not financial advice. Don't dox me. And then this is where I decided to take a look at the ETFs. Because in times of sheer volatility, that's usually when you want to probably start looking at ETFs anyway. You know, you got the S&P 500, you got the Russell, you know, Vanguard, all of that stuff. I think the first thing I was looking at as I was scrolling down was for the Russell and the QQQ as well. I don't think I did anything with the Russell just because it's not doing anything anyway. It's just a bunch of small caps. But I'm pretty sure I did go back to the QQQ just to check that out. Oh no, I found a new one. And this particular fund right here, oh yeah, I liked it because it was like $50, $51, but it went between like 51 and 52, which doing that every day isn't necessarily a bad thing because you're talking about $1 difference. You know, you can get there at 51 and get out at 52 and just do something like that every day. And then just go ahead and watch your portfolio grow. I don't think it really had a lot of dividend yields, but it also went ahead and showed that it mostly held financial holdings. You know, so probably a lot of banks, a lot of financial institutes, things like that. Yeah, I remember this part, and this is the part where I think the all-time or the 52-week high was around 53, 54 or something like that, and the low was like 46 or something, which that's not necessarily a bad thing because at least you know the range. And once again, these are ETFs, so they're a lot more stock market crash feasible than the stocks that may completely crash and you end up losing a lot of money and things like that. That's me circling it, trying to get attention. And I think after this, I went ahead and yeah, the Vanguard FTSE Developed Markets. And did I go? Yep, I went ahead and showed off the. I was about to show off the candlesticks, but that was unnecessary. Yep, and this is why I went ahead and decided to create an ETF watch list. That got typed slow. Then I went ahead and added that to it. So with that out the way, then it was time to go ahead and take a look at, if I'm not mistaken, it was a smaller ETF. Once I zoom in on it, I'll be able to see the name of it. But I think it was like $2.10 or something like that. I'm clicking on it right now. Yes, the Advisor Shares Pure Cannabis ETF, $2.10. I remember this ETF because they dealt mostly with pharmaceuticals. And then it kind of had that 209 to 215 kind of back and forth pullback. So that was definitely something you could probably almost day trade with, or at least swing trade, because you know when it hits that dip, it's gonna go back. But yeah, we can see right there how it mostly deals with pharmaceutical companies and things like that. So that's pretty cool. One thing about pharmaceuticals, I can say they're a lot less volatile than others when it comes to tariffs, just because it's labs and hospitals, or labs and pharmaceutical companies. So when it comes to healthcare, it's a little bit more just on the whether or not the trials work than it is whether or not they can get raw material from another country or something like that. Of course, there wouldn't be a dividend yield with something that cheap. But I'm pretty sure here I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and add that to my watch list, which is what I eventually went ahead and did. So right here, I'm just looking at the past, just seeing. At one point in time, it was at 255, and then eventually, so it is a steady decline, but each decline has a pullback. So you can definitely take advantage of that pullback. Yeah, here I go, adding it to my ETF watch list. And then I think the next one I went to eventually was QQQ, because you got to have a big dog in the arena. Yep, Invesco QQQ. That thing moves around $10 almost a day, at least 7. That's not bad at all if you got it. And of course, they have a dividend yield, and they're known for giving out dividend yields pretty regularly. So I went ahead and I added that. I think it was 54 cents. Yeah, I think the dividend yield was about 54 cents per share. And obviously, it's kind of an expensive stock, so that was one of those. If you have it, sure. If not, then you probably want to go one of the other two ETFs. And once again, the only reason we're dealing with ETFs anyway is because these other stocks are about to go crazy, and we don't know what they're going to do. And it's just some place to put your money until it's time to go ahead and go shark fishing, if you know what I mean. What do they say? When the water's red, when blood's in the water, sharks eat. And that's pretty much what people do around this time. And I think that was it, for the big dogs and everything. Otherwise, really wasn't too much going on outside of the obvious with the stocks about to drop. But yeah, so definitely thank everybody for checking it out. This is Mike Dub 27. We out.